And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to do this interview, to talk to these two gentlemen who are sitting here, and they are the co-authors of Eyes on Target. And I'm talking about Rich Miniter and Scott McEwen, and this is a book about, well, the Navy SEALs, inside stories from the Brotherhood of the U.S. Navy SEALs. Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
Congratulations on the book, and of course, neither of you are strangers to me or to the audience. Richard and I go way back, and Scott, of course, co-author of along with Chris Kyle, of American Sniper, which I understand is being turned into a movie. But I want to start with the politics of how political correctness is infiltrated into the SEALs specifically. I mean, I remember the first time it all hit me, the Iraq War. We had just invaded Iraq. I was at WABC, and I heard Colin Powell say, well, they're firing at our troops from a mosque, so we can't fire back. And I'm like, what? What does that mean? So talk about, if you will, how political correctness is tying the hands and you tell me to what degree, of our SEAL teams.
Well, the first thing that political correctness is doing to the Navy SEALs is revealing the existence of some of these teams, such as SEAL Team 6, such as SEAL Team Black, such as the SEAL team that killed Osama bin Laden. And that loss of secrecy, that exposure for political purposes to help President Obama's re-election effort mainly. I remember his big campaign pledge was that he had killed Osama bin Laden and that General Motors was still alive. But by using the SEALs for that purpose, he exposed them to enemy attacks. And we saw what happened with the Vulture 17 helicopter attack just 3 months after Osama bin Laden was killed by SEAL Team 6 in Pakistan.
Well, Scott, why oh why would Joe Biden announce to the world that it was SEAL Team 6 that went and got Osama bin Laden?
Well, I think they did it clearly for political expediency, for their own, political purposes. And there was a lot of people very upset, which we go over in detail in the book, and interview an ex-commander at SEAL Team 6 who, that basically said, look, we don't believe that this type of outing, if you will, immediately after we do a job should be done. It's operationally not correct for the SEAL teams itself. And to name the members of SEAL Team 6, or I should say the organization, and even the team within the organization that actually did it, I mean, the families of Extortion 17, which Rich just mentioned, had a real problem with that when less than 90 days after the Vice President named SEAL Team 6, we have a situation where a helicopter is taken down in Afghanistan, and it's the worst single loss to the SEAL teams ever experienced as a result of it.
And here's what gets me. The hemming and hawing over should we go to get Osama bin Laden. Obama had to sleep on it for a night or two, we understand, because it's such a big risk. SEALs could get hurt. But yet this other mission you allude to, all protocol was broken. It was a cockamamie mission. It should never have been undertaken. It meant nothing. It broke the protocol of when you send SEAls. So why was that mission ever undertaken, the latter, the one that the ill-fated one, in the first place?
Well, there's a lot of questions that are still lingering, which of course the Obama administration hasn't answered the questions about Extortion 17, just like they haven't answered them about Benghazi. The idea that the media seems to cooperate with this is sort of just brush things under the rug and hope that the public forgets about them. But it's not just the identities of the SEAL team, both the members of it and the teams themselves, but also that technology was revealed, forcing the SEALs to have to get new helicopters, new radio equipment, new mini-subs, and so on, just to replace the equipment that once you reveal the capabilities, once you reveal the technology that SEAL teams can use to go and get the enemy, they're no longer invincible or invisible anymore. The enemy can study that technology and counter it. We've already talked to SEALs who said that when they move ultraviolet lights across the landscape in Afghanistan, they'll see guys, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, moving out of the way, which means they have night vision glasses that's able to see that ultraviolet light, which the normal human eye could not see. With that, they're putting SEALs at risk by revealing their identities and the secret technologies that SEAls use.
I wanted to get to Benghazi and the revelations about the warnings to Hillary Clinton that she ignored. This is groundbreaking information in your book, Eyes on Target. But talk to me about, Scott, how do the SEALs you talk to, they persevere, and in spite of all this, and in spite of the nonsense, but their lives being put at risk and at danger and the deaths of their comrades, they don't
quit. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a higher rate of people leaving, but not that I know of. They go on because they're a special breed.
They really are. And one of the things we cover in this book that Rich and I went into detail is the history of the Navy SEALs and why exactly they are the most effective fighting force, anti-terrorist force on the face of the planet, and exactly the personalities that they want in the SEAL teams. These guys are warriors. They live, they're patriots. They live for this country. They live for the action that goes on. They like the risk, and they feed upon it. And in certain ways, they're perfectly built just for the danger of this job. That being said, they also calculate how they do their job, and they know that their job is a difficult one, and one that they need the support, you know, to do it, and they need the secrecy to do it when they're going to actually do something. So I think that it's a two-edged sword for them, but there's no doubt these guys are the best fighting force in the world.
All right, the book is got a little red dot on it, whatever you call that, a subtitle. Right next to it, the real story behind the Benghazi attack is a subtitle to Eyes on Target. So, Rich, we know that Hillary Clinton, what difference does it make? And we know that there are some who still want to hold her accountable, some who don't. But tell us about the 3 warnings, you know, in abridged fashion, if you can, that she received that she ignored.
Well, we found in this book, Eyes on Target, 3 intelligence reports that were circulating inside the State Department, inside the Pentagon, in the months prior to the Benghazi attack, predicting a massive al-Qaeda buildup in Benghazi, showing that al-Qaeda had headquartered its social media unit in Benghazi, less than a mile from the U.S. diplomatic compound there, where the ambassador ultimately died. But we also document a 2-day rally that al-Qaeda conducted in downtown Benghazi, involving hundreds of fighters, armored trucks with machine guns and anti-aircraft weapons, in which, at the end of it, they gave a press conference and called for the death of the U.S. ambassador and all Americans in Libya. All of these things were picked up in ambassador in the months prior to the attack in Benghazi. We also document 2 prior attacks against the U.S. Diplomatic outpost in Benghazi. One blew a 40-foot hole in the wall. All of these things Hillary knew on September 11th and before September 11th, 2012. And she did nothing. She did nothing for political reasons.
Scott, has this come out in the testimony, or is this, you know, are these totally new revelations?
I think that some of these are new revelations, particularly the timeline that we've created here that documents exactly how much information was in their possession prior to the attacks. And the other thing that we've gone over in detail in the book is once the attacks started, the options that were available militarily to have saved Ty Woods and Glenn Doherty. You know, I went to Ty Woods' funeral, which is one of the chapters we have in here,
right,
and I listened to his wife speak at that funeral, and she asked every Navy SEAL in there and everyone in the audience to do something about the tragedy that had it been done, had the authority been given to the military to do their job, which they certainly could have done. We outlined 5 different scenarios which we believe were available to the military had merely the order been given from above to go do it and to give the cross-border authority. Unfortunately, this administration was not willing to give that order.
Folks, there's much more on Benghazi in the book, Eyes on Target, and much more on the SEALs, one of the great institutions in small clubs, if you will, also in our armed forces. And my son still says he wants to be a SEAL. He's wanted that for 3 years. He's 14. I don't know, but we shall see. He could do a lot worse, believe me, and we should all be proud of the men and women who volunteered to put their lives on the line in the most dangerous circumstances imaginable. Eyes on Target by Scott McEwen and Richard Miniter. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Steve.
All right, folks, we will have one closing segment when we return. Can't believe the show is almost over. Been a busy day, and we will come back. We'll show you some video that you are going to want to see, I promise, right here on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.
The Steve Malzberg